Am I my stereotype? How you see me versus who I am. This is a conversation about the concept of self. Who are you? And does that match with how other people might see you out in the wider world? So we have 3 out of 4 of the cast members from the Tina Amana video. And I just want to give them a minute to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Courtney.
I am Shakes.
Hey, I'm Junelle J.
And I'm Tina.
Conclusions that I might be rough. So to start off, what do you think people see when they look at you?
What do they see when they look at me?
The dreads. I see the hair first of all.
Some people do want to touch them.
Touch them.
Yeah, some people do want to touch them. I remember I was at work sometimes and people would be like...
It's the hand just reaching from behind.
It was a couple, a white couple, and what they did was the woman told the man no, don't ask. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm very happy when I'm at work and stuff. But then I was like, when I said no, like, I don't know where your hands have been. I said no, and he's like, he was gonna pry, but his girl was like, leave him. And I respected that. I'm like, yeah, cool.
So what do you think? Do you think there's a stereotype attached to
when you're in clubs and stuff? You normally get the white people or whatnot. You get them asking you if you sell something. They'll come over to you and they'll ask you if you got this and that. I'm like, no, you ain't even that guy, you know.
Yeah.
I may look it, but you know.
That ain't you.
Do you know what I'm saying? So when you go to the clubs, yeah, you get some people that will hover around you because they think you're the plug.
What about you? What do you think people see when they look at you?
Wow.
Strong black man.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think, you know, with you saying, for example, white, I think it's just a border of everybody, unfortunately, who doesn't have any type of melanin in their skin, who would have some sort of initial question, like...
Curiosity.
Curiosity is a good word. I'm speaking to an Asian guy, and then his initial thing to me was, "Wow, go on, blood."
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. It's very rare in my family that anybody would address me or say to me, "Wow, go on, blood." Oh, friends do. Friends do, just on a whim. But even when they're saying it, it's for joke.
Relatability.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how you say hello.
It's an assumption.
That's how you say hello, apparently.
Exactly. It's like, you know, just to mix it up. It's like a Chinese girl was talking to me and she said she went to a market and the guy kept saying, "Lehoma, Lehoma, Lehoma," and she was like,
"Hi."
Yeah, talk to me. And I think it's the same thing. I think someone's learned that when you say, "Wow, go on, blood," it's hello in black.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not. Yeah, that's what it said. But it's not. It's not the case, and it's just like
it's some.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I think people see.
What about yourself?
I don't know. I think it depends on where I am, maybe even what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Those who know me know that I've had a few positions, one being manager, supervisor, and I've had customers literally go, "Can I speak to your supervisor?" You're like, "It's me." And then you look down because you've got it on your clothes, you're like, "That's me."
They can't read.
Yeah, they're just like, "No, can I speak to your supervisor?" I'm like, again, still me. And then I've had someone actually go, "Someone that's not you." I've had someone say, "The man." I'm like, ooh, I suppose the supervisor was a woman. When being a manager, I've had, "Can I speak to the manager?" I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's why I've got the radio on my ear, you know, that kind of thing. The guy, brazen as he was, actually said, you know, "Someone who's not you." And I've said, what? Someone that's not
You need to be
a girl? Someone that's not a black woman? What are you getting at? He goes, "You know exactly what I mean." And I was just like, oh, it's time for me to step out the situation. I was like, yeah, he needs to go.
So do you think that the way society looks at you and sees you begins to have an effect on how you see yourself? So even if you know you're not that person that they're seeing when they look at you, does it begin to take its toll on you?
Yes, I'll answer that straight away. I think I've noticed over the years, I think it was, to be fair, a mixture of black and white people have said to me that I look very angry. But my angry face is my thinking face.
You don't look angry at all since you've stepped in this room.
You
know, I haven't thought angry, not one.
Two things. Number one, I'm not officially thinking, but my thinking face or my concentrating face might come across as, what's that word that's used all the time?
Rest in me face.
No, focused. What's that word that they use? that word that's negative.
Scary.
Oh, you seem aggressive.
Aggressive.
Okay.
Aggressive.
Oh,
Yeah.
how did you forget?
Yeah. He looks very, came across very aggressive, or do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had to change that. I've had to change that. As in, when I approach someone, immediately I'm smiling and it's not me. Not
So
that
it's
I'm
like
not,
you have
not
to
that I'm
overdo it.
lying, but
Yeah,
I have to
basically.
smile a lot
More.
because otherwise you think. Wow,
So you put on your
this guy's-
jacket so you don't scare
And
them.
it's
Yeah, even the
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
There have been times I've had to do that.
So you play a character that's kind of underestimated and overlooked within the school system. Is that a character or an experience that you've had in your own personal life?
I'd say so. I'd say that the character that I played, like with regards to when we was doing the scene where the teacher's disapproving of the presentation, I feel as though that's me definitely. At the time when I was younger, I never really liked presentations. I didn't like to put myself out like that. But with regards to like you've got teachers that wouldn't believe in you, probably racist, etc., etc. You don't. So like you've got avenues. Let's say you wanted to do PE, but the teacher's racist, or the teacher's focusing on other people and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I have, like I think the story we spoke about earlier with regards to the play, the Bugsy Malone and all of that stuff. Like they're supposed to be teachers, but if they've got their own prejudices and stuff, how do they teach you correctly? Like in absence of your parents.
Yeah. So you play the role of a man in the video who is kind of judged and people are mistaking him for a criminal or a thug because he's wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can relate to that in your own life?
I've had a great example of that one day. I was supposed to go to the gym. You know when you finish work and you're like, gym straight after, but it was one of them days where it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
But you need to do it.
But I need to do it.
Yeah.
So then I've got my gym stuff on, happened to be a hoodie and some joggers at the time. Comfortable wear.
Ready to sweat.
You know how it is. So I've gone into Tesco ready to get some stuff. And then the security guard's now looking at me, following me around. Now I've seen it and I've experienced it hundreds of times, so it wasn't a thing. But the fun part of this was a white lady has come into the shop, and before God, I see her teeth in spam. Now listen, not spam. Sorry,
Corned beef?
the one that you put the it's like spread.
Corned beef?
It's like a sandwich spread.
Pate?
Yeah, like a thing.
Oh.
So she's teeth in it. So when I saw her teeth in it, I was like,
Security.
maybe she's gonna at the end of the till, she's gonna, you know what I mean? And she grabs another thing, and she's just boom looking, and the security guard's still looking at me. So now I'm looking at him and I'm laughing. In my head, he's thinking probably whatever. I don't know whatever he's thinking. Anyway, long story cut short, she leaves the shop, and I leave the shop, and I'm like this to the redder, you good? And then he's like looking at me like
Confused.
yeah, and I just left the shop thinking, oh gosh, and I think I told my uncle and he was switching like, oh, but for me, I was like,
funny.
prick. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, you were there following me on the shop for the
you
thief,
someone else
but you was,
stealing
but the
everything.
thief was just there taking out the shop.
Just me.
Yeah.
Please follow me to the door. Because when I went past them, I had my hood up.
Yeah.
And as soon as I realised, and there didn't no blue lights or anything like that, I'm literally a minute away from my house. And I've gone past the road and I've seen them. And then they've come out and like repositioned their car to turn and follow me. So I think now they're going to do their normal checks and go about their business.
Yeah.
They followed me literally until the point I parked up. Bear in mind, I was like, I know why. Because I look like a guy driving his car after work. So I finished, this is like back when I was doing like bar work. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's why. So obviously at this point, my hood's already gone down. They're pulled alongside me. I'm like, see now what I could do. Just get out of the car and walk to my house.
We'll take it off.
But then if you knock my door and wake up my household,
Then,
they're not going to be impressed.
yeah.
Never like, let alone me, because I know I've, in a sense, brought that. So I was round the window down just that much, and they were in the car. They didn't get out. They were just like, what speed were you driving at? I'm like, you were behind me, you should know, kind of thing. Like, good morning to you too, but you know. And then it was, well, we've had to do 40 to catch you up. I went, okay, but if you've come out of a side road and I'm already ahead of you, logic would say if you've had to try and catch me up, you would have to drive a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But again, that's your choice. I drove at the speed, although she would have pulled me over before that.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear the best part? The best part was, I said, so, he's gone, oh, are you insured to drive a vehicle. I was like, okay, you've been behind me for at least a minute. You know who's insured on this car. Is it because you saw something that you thought was something that isn't something? Which is basically, did you see a man driving? Or is he huddled? Yeah. And now all of a sudden it's a girl who's smiling, and you're like, okay,
what do I do now?
What do I do? Yeah, literally. And it was, I went, okay. Any other questions? If you're going out, the road, the high street is a bit wet, so drive carefully. I'm thinking,
shut up.
I've just got back to my house. I ain't going nowhere else. But what was all that about? And it literally just showed that stereotype there.
Does everyone feel like they can be themselves? Like,
Yes.
Regardless of wherever you are?
Yes.
I'd say no. I feel like I'm more comfortable in just being myself regardless of where I am than I used to be when I was younger. But I still feel like I'm conscious of myself and how I'm coming across in any given situation. So
But isn't that just general though?
Yeah.
no,
in,
because
do you know what I
I
mean?
feel like I'm conscious in a way that perhaps other people won't have to be. Like, for example, if you're a black person and you're naturally, you talk quite loud and you're quite animated in the way you act, you might feel that you need to tone that down.
Yeah.
Whereas you might have people from another race who would just go into work and just be the same person they are in the pub on a Friday night is the same person that they will be in the office.
Yep.
Whereas who I am at home and around my family and friends, and even here with you guys, is not the same person that I would be in a work situation
It's like
to some extent.
Conscious environment thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I think I've had to assess situations, but one thing I have always said to myself, especially from when I started working out in different places, is to still remain me. Even if I don't give them me from the front door, so to speak, they will get to know me. And if they don't like me, then hey, mom, I ain't. But but I am who I am, and I don't feel like I should have to change that. But what I will do is find a way to word it or show it in a way where maybe then they will understand. So like translate it.
Yeah.
You will see we're past all the stereotypes. You will realize that they ain't always right.
Feelings out. So before we wrap this up, I just want to ask everyone, are you your stereotype?
No.
Never.
No.
You a
Never.
stereotype?
You
Who
know,
are you? When people look at you, what do you want them to see? Who are you?
I'm love and life.
I like that. Who are you?
Do you know what? I'm complete opposite. However I need to be at the time is how I need to be. So unfortunately, if I do need to be war at the time, I will be
You
war.
will be war.
But if I need to be love, then 100%.
I'll war through love as well.
I am me. I'm individual. Take me as I am. Don't take me at all. Like
it.
I'm fun. And I like to be fun. I like to be bubbly. But hey, I can have my serious side too. And don't be surprised that I can be serious just like you.
Yeah.
I'm me.
What about you, Tina? Who are you?
I am just me, and so I'm out there. I can be different in different situations, but naturally I always stay true to myself. And so even like school to now to if I have to work to anything, I'm just always going to be myself. Even if I get put in a box, it helps me to learn more about the world, and it's sad that you have to navigate yourself in certain ways when you feel like you're being stereotyped against.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's just learning about yourself, going within, knowing who you are is just the ultimate kind of freedom that, you can achieve in life.
Keep
Definitely.
it real. Keep
Yeah.
it 100.
That's that, I think. We are not our stereotypes. You are not your stereotype.
Nope.
And we see you. I see you. I see you. And we see you for who you really are. So just be yourself.